At the time when the hurricane was coming, I was living on the Mesquite Street property. And yeah, it was crazy. You know, we're one of them families that just didn't believe it. Like, oh, nothing's gonna happen. You know, everybody in Refugio has always been like that. You know, just a little bit of trees gonna fall down, and something just told me, we need to leave. Like, we're gonna ride it out in the trailer, which I'm glad we didn't, because it collapsed. When we came back, it was basically everything, all our belongings were pretty much in the yard. The trailer had basically folded apart, like whatever was holding it together. Two walls were laying this way, and the front and back wall was laying down. So it was just basically the frame. It was painful, you know. We've been working all our life to get that little bit of stuff for it to be gone in 2 days, you know. And we basically just picked up what we could, and we went and stayed with my mother-in-law. It was a long process, you know. We went through a lot of struggles, but it felt good, you know. It felt good to get an actual place to call a home again until a problem started showing up more. Yeah, this was actually in the hurricane too. We needed somewhere to go. We were living with my mother-in-law. It was packed, so we actually have a crack in the beam in the roof. We didn't know that till afterwards, after we had people fix the roof. And when they were up on the roof, it made it worse. Fixing that beam I don't have the money for that right now.
He was stuck on, no, we don't need to go anywhere. We're going to stay. And I was like, we need to leave. So
that little trailer was from the 60s, not mistaken.
Yes.
We had a plan. And to come home to that, it was like shattered dream. And I'm not a crier. It takes a lot to make me cry. But to come home to see my kids almost could have died, I'm glad that we left. Because you know what? Right where the whole roof caved in, ceiling caved in, that's where my kids play in their little daycare thing. They crawl around all right there. And a big glass, maybe 1 inch thick glass table, big table was up there. It all came down and shattered where they would have been. I really believe if we stayed there, it would have killed them. It would have been on their heads. I believe they would have passed away. So I'm really glad we left. It taught us how to persevere during something bad and learn patience too. To know that every day you wake up, you have an opportunity to take the next step forward in life.
I have 3 kids. I have a 14-year-old daughter, an 11-year-old son, and a 7-year-old son. Kylie, Caleb, Kaylin. When the hurricane was coming, I didn't get out of work until 6 o'clock, and it was only 150 miles out. I didn't have time to prepare. I didn't have time to do anything. So I got back to my house, I grabbed my dog, and I grabbed my kids, and we went a little further up to stay at a friend's house. I came back and to nothing. There was nothing here. Everything was ruined. So it was difficult to see our little town like that. It was a trailer, and we were up to code on the windstorm and stuff, but it didn't make it. No. We had a big oak tree in the front yard, and it fell on top of it, ruined the roof. We had water in the walls, it buckled the floors, water in the windows. The house was so hot, but I didn't end up getting the generator till 3 days before we got power. So before that, it was so hot. It was summer. All the windows were open. We were out of gas, so we would have to travel really far to go get just a little gallon of gas, and we would use it at night to keep cool. So I had to set my alarm clock. We all slept in the living room on blankets with the windows and doors open because the walls and the mildew, and my middle son has asthma. So he had to sleep with his inhaler because he couldn't breathe. It was horrible. And it's hard to do that when you have a generator. So I had to set it really far and set my alarm every 2 hours to go put just enough gas in the generator to keep the house cool enough to where they could sleep, and we all slept on a pallet in the living room. It still gets me to think about it.
We knew that there was some funding to go toward the citizens of Refugio County who had yet to recover. Mennonite Disaster Services contacted us and wanted to know if we wanted to go in on a project in Woodsboro to build 23 homes. The thought is to build more resilient homes and to help the community to recover by demolishing the old homes that have been really heavily damaged by Hurricane Harvey and are not able to be repaired. That way you can build a new home on that property and help the community recover it in total.
All of our houses that we build here are built to windstorm standards, so they'll have the resources available to recover on their own. And that's part of what's different about this project, is that we're hoping that these same people don't meet the same fate after every disaster, that there's actually a break in the cycle. And that's our hope as CBDRG.
The mayor of Woodsboro, Mayor Kay Roche, she had been very enthusiastic about the project and had talked to the leaders of MDS, and they were all in on building, but they needed people to help them.
I knew that there are citizens here that still needed help, that will never get the help. And if I didn't do something about it and I have the ability, they offered me this. If I said no, then I just let down 23 people. Once the land was purchased and it was in the name of Coastal Bend Disaster Recovery, everything has been great. It's amazing to see an actual community and where these people are gonna make memories and have places where their families can grow. I mean, it's just a great feeling knowing that that's gonna be here in Woodsboro. This is home for somebody. And these houses aren't going anywhere. I've watched them build the foundation ground up, and these are very stable.
In order to have 23 new homes in a new subdivision, we would have never envisioned that 3 years ago.
No. All of us have experienced Harvey. All of us that work here are all Harvey survivors. So we all understand what these people are doing and going through. And so we're still here trying to help those that haven't received help yet. And I think that's an important part of what we do.
I became familiar with the Coastal Bend Disaster Recovery Group about a year after the hurricane, when they started building homes for the people that had damaged houses. I knew there was a plot of land here, the 23 lots, and I knew it was for sale. I didn't know if it had been sold or anything, but I got back with the consultant and said, look, the land's still available. This is how much it is. And then we went back to the Coastal Bend Disaster Recovery and they said, this is doable.
It's refreshing to work in a nonprofit where you have different agencies whose goal is to help people. And it's not about ego, it's not about passing blame, it's about how can we solve this problem or this hurdle that, sometimes is unforeseen.
But we have had numerous other agencies to donate to this project because they know that it's so important. And we're really, really excited to work with old and new partners. The Catholic Charities of Corpus Christi is, besides money, they're also housing the Amish as they build over there in the Refugio Catholic Church.
We were there at the very beginning, and we, in partnership with Coastal Bend Disaster Recovery Group, formed that foundation that Mennonite Disaster Service could link directly into. They bring tremendous capability to our region and skills. But what they lack is the connection to the community. And that's exactly what Coastal Bend Disaster Recovery Group and Catholic Charities could provide. The other part was funding. We are the benefactors of many generous donors across the nation that give to this community to help recover. And we are able to dedicate a significant amount of money to help fund this project with Coastal Bend Disaster Recovery Group. It's a namesake of the Coastal Bend Disaster Recovery Group that says we're all better together, and in fact, that's what it was. And as we did it, other gracious donations came in to make this all possible. And there's a number of groups, faith-based and other private donations that made this all possible.
Basically, we have the houses going all different stages and a little bit over halfway on the framing, and we have about 1/3 of them pretty well done. We just take it week by week, and our plan is to start doing driveways week after next, culverts and driveways, and incorporate that with it. But if it rains too much, it's just a mist enough that it's not too bad. But if it rains, then we try to all work inside. Like there's inside work that could be done if it rains. So. We provide anybody that lost a home in a disaster or has damage in disaster. It's a hurricane, flood, or whatever it may be. Everybody works together as a team. And when it's done, we all are as one team. So we want to do it and have all the honor and glory to God. That we're not here to get any honor. We're here to get all honor and glory to God. So we try to do it for our youth. And it gives them a chance to get away from home and experience how other people live and just mingle with the youth. And it's a good way to work together. So. I have been in Woodsboro probably 5 times this year. My experience is I really enjoy it with the local people, and I really feel that people that I've met, some of the clients that are getting the houses, I really feel there's a need here, and I just feel God's leading me to do this. So.
From '93 up until 2016, I was mostly involved in design and construction engineering for roadway projects, and then I moved to Rockport in January of 17. To open up windshore engineering to do windstorm engineering in the Rockport area. I started here and we were kind of slow starting a new business, and we were inspecting a few roofs and a few doors and a few new houses on piles. And I'll never forget August 25th, I believe it went from a major tropical storm to a Category 4 in 36 hours to return the day after to see the destruction. It was humbling. I believe there were 6,000 structures in Aransas County alone that were either badly damaged or completely deteriorated. So I'll never forget the destruction. I can see it in my mind right now. A good friend of mine, a businessman in Rockport, John Jackson, I believe at the time he was a board member for Coastal Bend Disaster Recovery. And he said, Les, I'd like to meet you for lunch. And I said, I'll take you up on that. And he asked me if I wanted to be the engineer of record for the Coastal Bend Disaster Recovery Group, and without hesitation, I told him absolutely, it'd be a pure honor. And that was immediately after Harvey, so it's been a blessing ever since. But they came in the office, I believe it was about June or July, and said, I got some awesome news. And they said Coastal Bend's getting ready to do 23 homes on a city block in Woodsboro. And I'm like, fantastic. The specific code we used was a 2018 IRC, and also all of TDI's compliant requirements. These houses are literally engineered to withstand 140 mile an hour wind speed from hurricanes. So all the openings, the doors, the windows, the roof assemblies, the depths of piles, all the exterior openings, everything is installed per code. And that's one thing that we really appreciated getting his crew, is each time they had a window assembly or a door assembly, before we ordered it, make sure we get the right one. Some of the most impressive things that I just personally observed is their willingness, their selflessness, and then right into the technicalities of their work, their unmatched craftsmanship, their carpentry skills. We got to mention too, building 23 houses in less than 6 months. After Harvey, there's a lot of people that assumed there was no hope. And CBDRG and their entire staff, they have provided a catalyst for hope that we can rebuild. There are resources and there's people that care. And so it's just provided a backbone for people to step back up and get back on their feet and really have a purpose. And truly remarkable what they're doing, what they stand for, and what they've accomplished.
Somebody was talking to my mom about it, and my mom gave me the number and told me to give them a call to see if they can help us out. And that's when I got to doing the process, and that's how I was selected. I didn't believe it when she told me I had got approved. I'm still to this day, like, man, it's not happening. Yeah, we're super excited, especially the kids, they're all gonna have their own rooms. I mean, I'm still in disbelief, I'm just like, man, that we're getting a new house where there's no more problems. I don't have no more problems. It's gonna be safe. We ain't got the pole in the middle of the house. It's I don't know, I'm ready. I'm excited. It's been a long process, and I thank them very much for, actually even taking the time to accept me into the program. So it's a true blessing.
I actually have a really good friend of mine, and she was telling me about the program. She wasn't sure what was, how it was going to work. So she had me contact the City Hall in Woodsboro. So I called and spoke to someone there, and that's when they gave me Sulema's phone number. And then I called and left a message, and that's how it all started. Yep. So, I submitted all the paperwork that needed to be done, and of course, it wasn't guaranteed. It's like, we're gonna go through the process. We're gonna see. We're gonna work hard and try. And then, when I did get the call, it was unbelievable. I just couldn't imagine. I was like, it's just being patient and pray. But yes, when they said, okay, you did qualify, y'all did make it, you will be able. So when I went to meet to sign papers, it was like, okay, here's your section, when you see the property section, and it's like, we get the call to go pick out colors, and it's like, okay, maybe this is real. So it was amazing. It's I can't even explain. I mean, it's a true blessing. It's absolute blessing. I just I want to cry. But yes, it's amazing. Don't lose faith.
Yeah, don't lose faith. Be hopeful.
It'll get better.
Be hopeful.
Yes. Pray and patience. It will definitely get better, and don't lose faith. Yes.
They can build these houses that are resistant.
Here have come to build you a home. They don't know you, but you're doing this.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
So here we are, realizing that long-awaited day of dedicating the first 13 homes of this 23 house build. I could cut out a square block of hope and joy right now and hand it to you, because it's palpable in the air this morning. This is not just one organization able to do this. This takes a community coming together, each one with their gifts, finances, administration, coordination. It's been an amazing thing bringing people together. Ultimately, God gets the glory, and so that's who it belongs to.
was a roller coaster, you know, moving from place, a big family, and to have something that's our own is amazing. We are definitely ready to move in though. Ready to move in and get started. So my family and I have been blessed because of them and, you know, because of God. And, you know, He puts people in your path for a reason, and they have definitely blessed us, and we can't be more thankful.
When I found out I was approved, I just cried for months and months. It still didn't feel real. I don't think it felt real until maybe just a couple days ago. And I've been here for a week and it didn't feel real at all. Every step of the way, and just such a blessing. And this company is such a blessing, and they truly do help people who are trying so hard to get back on our feet and make a better life from what we had. And just hope, and to give our kids a forever home that they can be proud of, that they can breathe in, that I can breathe in.
It's a long time coming, and you know, you got to be patient. You know, thankful for everybody that helped out on this project. We're truly, you know, grateful, blessed, and thankful to everybody that had a part in this project of building these houses for all these families. Now that it's over with, I'm in relief and ready to start over. You know, it's exciting. Never give up. I mean, it took me 3 tries to finally get somebody to say they were willing to help us. So, you know, just never give up faith.